You believe ancient wisdom holds solutions for today? No kidding. It's just nature doing its job. For thousands of years, people didn't have doctors or pharmacies like we do. If you got sick or hurt or had a terrible stomachache, you walked outside and found the cure growing in the dirt. And the most famous book in history, the Bible, is basically a secret garden guide listing the most powerful healing ingredients on earth. People forget that. They treat it like a history lesson, but it's actually an old-school pharmacy manual. We aren't talking about faith here. We're talking about chemistry that works. Imagine you have a locked treasure chest that holds the answers to basic pain, infections, and even stress. We're opening that chest right now. Forget the fancy church ceremonies and the robes. Let's talk about the actual plants, the things they used every day. Take frankincense. You think it's just a nice smell for a temple. Nope. When they mixed that sap, it was their strongest natural painkiller, reducing swelling like crazy. It's like the oldest, most powerful pain pill in the world, except it grows on a tree. And what about that weird spicy root they always talk about, galanjo? When your stomach was flipping out, that root was their instant fix. It kills the bad bugs in your gut. It's your ancient Pepto-Bismol. This isn't just history. These are treatments we threw away but are now proving to be better than half the stuff in your medicine cabinet. This stuff is real. And the crazy thing is, these are the common ones. What about the king of all the ancient healers? We're talking about the plant resin they literally treated like gold. Forget the smell good part. We're talking frankincense. That sticky sap that drips off the tree was the secret weapon. If your body is a castle, frankincense is the ancient SWAT team. When sickness and inflammation sneak in, this oil doesn't just put a bandage on it. It seems to reprogram your defense system. It's the ultimate protector. Scientists are losing their minds over frankincense today because of one huge thing. It targets cells that shouldn't be there. It's like it tells the bad cells, the ones that make tumors and trouble, to just stop growing and die. It's a biological kill switch found in a sticky sap. That is why the wise man brought it. It wasn't perfume. It was powerful medicine that saves lives. It was essential for survival. But okay, if frankincense handles the big wars, what about the daily maintenance? What about the plant they swore by to keep their memories sharp and their heads clear when they were older? The simple herb of remembrance, rosemary. You use it on chicken, but they used it for their minds. When you get old, your brain can get kind of messy, like a kitchen that hasn't been cleaned in 50 years, all the wires and counters getting sticky and slow. Rosemary is like the ultimate cleaning crew that comes in to scrub every surface and sweep the floor. It literally helps your thoughts move faster and protects the little thinking wires in your head from getting fried or slowing down. It kept the old folks sharp and focused right until the very end. They'd carry it, they'd burn it, they'd eat it. Next time you smell rosemary, remember you're smelling pure, ancient brain fuel designed to keep you from getting fuzzy. These people weren't relying on complex chemicals. They were using super concentrated plant power that works faster than you'd ever guess. And there is one more plant, the most famous one, the one that makes everyone calm down and sleep even when they're stressed to the breaking point, the one that smells like a spa and fixes your nerves. You know this one. It's the famous purple flower that looks like little soft spears, and everyone uses it in baths or little scented pouches. It's lavender. If rosemary is the sharp coffee that wakes up your brain, lavender is the ultimate emergency stop button for panic. Think about your body being a security system. When something stressful happens, maybe a lion shows up or your boss is yelling, the alarm system turns on full blast. Your heart races, your breathing gets shallow, you can't think straight. Everything is flashing red. Lavender doesn't just mask that feeling. It physically goes into the wiring of your system and flips the main circuit breaker back to the off position. It makes the panic quiet down. The ancient people used it everywhere. They put it in their linen, they washed their floors with it, and they definitely rubbed it on their skin before bed because they knew it was the only thing that could make the noise inside their head shut up enough to sleep. They weren't taking a sleeping pill. They were just telling their whole body, from the skin right into the brain, that it was time to relax, that the lion was gone, and everything was safe again. That's plant power you can feel immediately, not something that takes weeks to kick in. But those are the nice-smelling ones. Those are the herbs for daily life, like having good dish soap and a nice air freshener in your home. Now we have to talk about the heavy hitters,
the plants so powerful they were more valuable than gold. Think about the most famous gifts ever given to a newborn baby, the things the wise man brought. They didn't bring toys or blankets, they brought serious, concentrated medicine. They brought myrrh and frankincense. If rosemary is the cleaning supplies for a tidy house, myrrh and frankincense are the professional contractors you call when the house is severely damaged, when the foundation is cracking and the pipes have burst. Let's start with myrrh. Myrrh is a sticky, bitter sap that oozes out of a specific kind of tree when you cut the bark. When it dries, it looks like little reddish-brown rocks. Now, what did they use this for? Everything involving damage. Think about getting a nasty cut or scrape that looks like it's going to turn rotten and festering. Back then, they didn't have bottles of antiseptic cream. They didn't have hospitals handing out antibiotics. If you got infected, you often died. Myrrh was their defense shield. If your body is like a rusty old car, myrrh is the most powerful rust-proofing agent you could find. They would put it on wounds and it would do two simple things. First, it kills the bad germs instantly. It just wipes them out before they can set up shop. Second, and this is the really cool part, it helps your skin close up and heal faster without leaving huge scars. It was used when people were burned, when they had skin diseases, and when they needed serious pain relief. It was so effective and so vital to survival that it was literally considered a treasure. It was the ancient world's version of a trauma kit, wrapped up in a tiny, bitter rock. It's about total body defense and repair, and it was used heavily in death rituals too, because they knew it could prevent rot and keep things pure.
It's a purifier on the deepest level. Then there is frankincense. Frankincense is myrrh's cousin, but it's lighter, usually a pale yellow or gold color. And when you burn it, it gives off that beautiful, pungent, deeply calming smoke you might smell in a very old church or a temple. Frankincense was the medicine cabinet item for internal damage. If myrrh fixed the outside cuts and scrapes, frankincense fixed the deep, unseen problems inside you. Think about inflammation. That's just a fancy word for your body fighting itself. When your knee swells up, or your stomach hurts constantly, or your head is pounding because your whole system is in constant warfare, that's inflammation. Frankincense is the peace negotiator. It steps into the fight and tells everyone to stand down. It literally calms the body's overreaction. They would drink it mixed with wine, where they would breathe in the smoke, or they would rub it on sore spots. It was used for terrible aches and pains, especially joint pain, the kind of stiffness that makes it hard to move, and for stomach troubles that wouldn't quit. And because breathing the smoke was such a big deal, they also learned that frankincense did wonders for the lungs. It was like a powerful steam cleaner for the breathing passages, opening everything up and letting you take in deep, full breaths again. These plants weren't just spiritual symbols. They were the most essential concentrated medicines the ancient world possessed, designed by nature to tackle the most serious issues: infection, pain, and internal breakdown. They were survival tools. And there is one more, the last one, the secret weapon hidden in plain sight, a weed that grew everywhere that could heal burns better than any modern cream and make the old feel young again. That secret weapon they had growing everywhere, the plant that looked like a fat, spiky cactus but wasn't one at all, was the thing we now call aloe. Think of a big fire. If you throw water on a fire, it stops it. But if the fire already burned your skin, you don't just need water, you need a full emergency kit that can also rebuild the house. That is what aloe does. When the sun scorched them walking through the desert where they got a nasty cooking burn, they would slice off one of those thick leaves and squeeze out the clear, slimy gel. That slime is amazing. It's like a natural cooling blanket that seals the wound immediately. It stops the heat from going deeper and causing massive damage, but then it gets busy rebuilding. It sends out tiny signals to the skin cells saying, "Get back to work. Build fast, but build smooth, so you don't end up with those thick, lumpy scars." The ancients weren't just using it for burns either. They realized that if you put this stuff on regularly, it made your skin look smoother and feel thicker, almost like a natural moisturizer that actually made you younger looking. It was the original anti-aging secret, just a humble plant growing in the dirt. But not all the healing tools were green and slimy. Some of the biggest helpers were the fruit they ate. The Bible talks about the pomegranate a lot.
It's a beautiful fruit, packed with hundreds of ruby red seeds, and it was used as a powerful symbol for life, for fertility, for everything good. But it was also incredible medicine. Imagine your bloodstream as a highway, and over time, gunk and rust start building up on the side of that highway, making traffic slow down and making your engine, which is your heart, work too hard. The pomegranate seeds and the juice are like a dedicated street sweeping crew. They are full of special tiny chemicals that go straight into your blood and start aggressively sweeping away all the mess, preventing the rust from sticking to your arteries. It literally cleans the pipes from the inside out. They figured out that people who ate this fruit regularly had stronger hearts, better blood flow, and generally lived longer and felt less run down. It was their internal deep cleaning service, keeping the engine running strong for decades. And then there was the spice they treasured more than gold, the stuff used in holy oils and reserved only for the most special occasions, cinnamon. We think of it now just for baking, but for thousands of years, this was serious medicine. It comes from the bark of a tree, and it smells strong because it is packed with power. The reason they used it to preserve things like special oils or even meat is because it is a silent killer of the bad guys. If little invisible germs or fungi are trying to grow, cinnamon shuts them down completely. If you had a sickness caused by something invisible, they would use cinnamon to fight the infection from the inside out. But here is the simple miracle of cinnamon that is a big deal today: sugar. In the ancient world, people didn't eat nearly as much sugar as we do, but they still ate sweet things. When you eat something sweet, sugar floods your system, and it's like a rush-hour traffic jam that makes your energy spike high and then crash low. Cinnamon acts like a perfect traffic cop. When you eat, it stands in the middle of your digestive system and slowly directs the sugar exactly where it needs to go, making sure it doesn't rush everything at once. This means your energy stays stable, you don't get those big tired crashes, and your body stays in balance. These plants, growing right beside them in the harsh lands, weren't just decorations or smells. They were survival mechanisms. They healed wounds, cleared infections, kept the heart beating strong, and made sure the body handled fuel correctly without a single complicated chemical factory. It was natural medicine ready for harvest.